Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Rojas coming to you from my home. Like most of you are at home, I hope, and keeping safe. What I wanted to do today, and through this platform, which is our YouTube channel, I wanted to give you some guidance as far as the packets that were sent home with your child. Okay, so I'm going to be implementing a few videos through here and showing you an example of what to kind of expect when you're getting these packets. Okay, I am reviewing them and I am going through each question and each lesson. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me, text me, send me an email, um, or you can comment here for the video. Okay, so first off, you should have gotten this that says Parent Instructional Pacing Calendar. Okay, you can always access it on our main website, which is www.hisd.org. It's on the main launch pad. You can click on there, and all the lessons and everything are also accessible there. Okay, so I'm going to cover the day one, which is your lesson 12, which is your main idea. This is for 2 days, day one and two. Okay, so I kind of marked it here like starting tomorrow. Some of you might have gotten your package today and wanted to get ahead. That's fine. So you kind of pace yourself with this, okay? So I'm going to be covering that for right now, okay? So in your packet, you have these instructions, okay? Everything that's in black, dark letters, that's what you can explain to your child if you would like, but I'm also going to give that direction as well, okay? And that's pretty much what I'm going to be covering with you here, okay? You have several pages of those, and then you have this little guide. It's on the fourth page. And this says skill comprehension, lesson 12 main idea. These are the pre-written main idea statements. This is what we're going to be using as we are doing the passages, okay? So it kind of matches, and this is how it matches. It tells you the title of your passage, spiders, and then of course you find your passage spider. So you're going to utilize this section that only says spiders only for this passage, okay? For your next passage, which will be the butterflies need their colors, and they abbreviated that for you, BNTC, page paragraph 1, paragraphs 2. Okay, that's what the P stands for. That means paragraphs. Okay, so this is your passage that goes with that little section right there, which is the one that I marked right here. Okay, and then you have your last passage, which is caterpillars. So then this one, along with the last page of the statements, says caterpillars, and it also tells you P1, P2, and P3. That means paragraph 1, 2, and paragraph 3. Okay, so for this lesson today, boys and girls and parents, this is going to be based off main idea and details. Okay, so what I'm holding here are your actual main idea statements. So what the boys and girls are going to actually be doing is matching their statements to each of the paragraphs that are in the passages here. Okay, so I'm going to do one with you to guide you, because a lot of these are also independent for the student to be able to read on their own and complete as well. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so my first story is spiders. I know it says to cover paragraph by paragraph, but since I'm working with what I have here at home, what you can do is just show it to your child and cover with the paper. Okay, so we're going to focus on paragraph 1. What I would like for my students to do is continue doing your strategies. Identify your title, identify any text features that you have in the passage. Very important, text features, let's not forget. Okay, number how many paragraphs you have, and this is going to help you when you start matching your main idea statements. Okay, so just keep in mind, if you don't have any scissors or glue available, what you can do instead of actually cutting or gluing those statements to the side, which these are the statements, you can just write it on the side of each paragraph. Okay, there's enough room for you to write. And if not, you can turn the page around and write it, P1, and then the main idea, P2 main idea, and P3 main idea. Okay, that's another option. Okay, so let's get started. So here on your pacing guide, this is what we can kind of follow as it's like a lesson, okay? So what I did is just I actually read it and I previewed. So I might not cover everything exactly the way it is, but you're going to do it the way you think it's best, okay, for yourself and for your child. So what I'm putting here is this is the passage, and like I mentioned, cover first paragraph. You only want the first paragraph to show. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my child listen to the story. So it says, spiders are arachnids. The abdomen and thorax make up the two parts of the body. They have 8 eyes and 8 legs. A spider can grow a new leg if he loses one. So after you read your first paragraph, this is where you can ask these few questions that are marked right here. Briefly discuss the paragraph. So what I can ask is, what are spiders? Okay. So then it tells you right here, spiders are arachnids. Good. Okay, and we can identify that. You can have your child, maybe if they have a marker or a highlighter handy, you can kind of mark it or have them underline. Okay, so that already answered your first one. Second question says, what are the names of its two body parts? Let's go back and look, because this is what we have to do. Practice going back to reread. The abdomen and thorax make up two parts of the body, and that was in my question. What are the two body parts? And here you go, the abdomen and thorax. And you can continue to underline that sentence right there. Okay. And then my third question was, what body part can a spider regrow? So go back again to paragraph 1. They have 8 eyes and 8 legs. Does that really answer that question? It's answering what kind of parts it still has, right? A spider can grow a new leg if he loses one. So what was my question? What body part can a spider regrow? Oh, so we know that it can regrow a new leg, right? So we just answered those 3 questions. Awesome. So you're doing good so far. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is all of these boys and girls that we just identified, they're details. And these are details that are actually talking about the parts of a spider, right? Just like it's in our title, right? So right there, spiders. It's about spiders. Okay. Now, they're going to help you know what this paragraph is mostly about. Okay, so now we know that the paragraph 1 is mostly about spiders' body parts. Okay, all right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to grab your statements, which is this ones with the little lines, okay, and it says right here, your main idea statement. And we're only going to look at the ones that say spiders, okay? And we're only going to look at the ones that say P1, P1, because that is paragraph 1, okay? So my 2 for paragraph 1 are these 2. So what you would do is you're going to read them, okay, together. So a spider's body parts. Would that be the main idea? We kind of talked about that within our questions. And spiders can grow new legs. Was this only referencing the legs, or was that just a detail? Okay, that's something you can kind of ask yourself too. Remember, boys and girls, remember our think alouds, okay? Talk about it. So go back if you need to and reread your paragraph 1, okay? So between these 2, which one do you think would be the main idea for paragraph 1? Would it be a spider's body parts, or would it be only about spiders can grow new legs? Okay, I think you answered a spider's body parts. So what I would do then is I would take my scissors. Remember, if you do not have scissors, don't worry. Just write it down. Write down that statement. Okay, there's no need to panic. So cut it out the best you can. And then you would glue it to the section of paragraph 1. It can be to the side, that's fine. Doesn't have to be on paragraph 1, but to the side. Okay. And attach it the best you can. So I know for this section right here, this is going to be my main idea. A spider's body parts would be my main idea for paragraph 1. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing. This time we're going to do it for paragraph 2. Okay, so let's move on to paragraph 2. We're going to follow the same steps and you can just continue and keep going. Okay, so here's paragraph 2. Okay, and then of course, remember, you can cover, if you're already done with 1, just cover paragraph 3 because now we're on 2. Okay, so now paragraph 2 says, we're going to read it. Okay, you can later on, when you get a little bit more practice with it, what you can have them do is have them read each paragraph to you. Or if they're still having trouble reading it, you can choral read. Okay, you read and they read it back to you. Okay, it's great practice. Make sure that they're following with their finger under each word. Okay, so that way they know what each word is. Okay, so paragraph 2, spiders live in lots of places. Some like to live in dry places. Some like to live in trees. Others like to live in our houses. That's true, right? It happens. Okay. So now let's talk about paragraph 2. Let's discuss that. Okay. So it says, where do spiders live? Those are some of your questions you can cover with them. Okay. And it tells you right there. Well, if you go back to your story and you can wait for your child to respond to you and they can search on the paragraph. So where do spiders live? Spiders live in lots of places. Okay, so it was really direct. So again, marker, pencil, highlighter. Okay, so they live in lots of places. Good. Okay, now my next question, what kind of places do they like to live in? So once again, you're going back to your paragraph and thinking about that question. What kind of places, the kind of places that they like to live in? Let's see. Some like to live in, oh, right here, dry places. That's one. Some like to live in trees. Others like to live in our houses. So those are 3, right? 3 different sentences, but 3 different statements there. Okay, so now we figured that answer. Okay, now what we're going to do is, again, remember that these are details, and all of these are details were about the places where the spiders live. Okay, so then this main idea we can discuss, and tell me what you think the main idea of that second paragraph is. Okay, and I know primarily it's talking about that spiders are where? In one place? In various places? So there are everywhere. Okay, so right away, main idea, right? Main idea of that section. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go back again to your written statements that are already given to you. So now we're done with paragraph 1. Now we're going to go to paragraph 2 statements, which is the P2. Okay, again, we're still with spiders, P2. So now let's look at those and then we're going to read them together. Okay, so again, have your child follow with you and have them read, or you can read it to them and then they can echo that back. Okay, spiders can grow new legs. Okay, that's one. You think that's the main idea for that section? Only about them growing new legs? Think about it. Or spiders live everywhere. Well, I remember, this is where you think aloud. I remember, and we even marked it, that spiders live in lots of places, right? Which means kind of like everywhere, right? They live in dry places, they live in trees, and in our houses. That's like several places, right? So they live everywhere. So which one do you think your main idea would be? Spiders can grow new legs, or spiders live everywhere? Good. It should have been spiders live everywhere. Awesome. Okay, so again, cut out. Remember, you don't have it. You can always just write it down. Okay. This time I'm going to cut the strip a little shorter, just so that way it can stick a little better. Okay. And glue it right next to the paragraph 2. Okay. Now, guess what? We're going to go on to paragraph 3, which is your last section. Okay. And again, let me show you right here. You have P3 right there, P3. And those are the statements that you're going to review with your child, okay? And you're going to do that for all of those 3 passages the same way, okay? But you also have these instructions that you can follow, okay? All right, so the last paragraph, let's go to our last section, and this is where, of course, you would uncover it all, and then we're going to read together, okay? So it says, spiders help people. They eat insects. That's one way. Spiders paralyze the insects. What does paralyze mean? That's something you can think about, right, to extend your vocabulary. A spider sinks fangs that have poison into the insect. Think about how the fangs look, okay? And what's another word for fangs? Okay, a synonym. This causes the insect to become paralyzed. I wonder what paralyzed means. That's a fancy word, okay? Paralyzed. Since the insect cannot run away, the spider eats it. So that's already kind of giving us clues, okay? So think about some of those words that I highlighted there, okay? To give you a little bit more meaning. All right, so now we have a few questions, okay? Again, the section right here. So it says, what do spiders eat? That's my last paragraph. Let's see, let's go back. Spiders help people. Is that telling us a little bit about that? No. They eat insects, so it's specific. So what are they eating? Insects, okay? Now let's go to the next one. It says, what causes an insect to become paralyzed? Okay, remember that word I asked you? What does paralyzed mean? You go back and use some of those context clues. Remember, circle that word, underline the sentence, okay? And go back and reread. That'll help you make sense of the meaning, okay? So what causes an insect to become paralyzed? Well, let's go back. What causes? Cause and effect. Think about it, boys and girls, cause and effect. So what causes an insect to become paralyzed? Let's see. Spiders paralyze the insect, so that's what they're doing, right? But how? How do they do that? A spider sinks fangs that have poison into the insect. Wow, so it's kind of already telling us there, right? This causes, ooh, that's one of our words, one of our keywords, boys and girls, our signal words. Remember with our cause and effects? So cause. This causes the insect to become paralyzed. So that they're already telling us there. Okay? So again, the spider has to sink their fangs that have poison into the insect in order for the insect to become paralyzed. Okay? All right. So now that we understand this, now we know that there's details, boys and girls, about how spiders get an insect. So they kind of already told us there. Okay, so those are your details. Now think about what this paragraph is mostly about. Okay, so they kind of talked about what? The spiders and how they're doing what? Catching their food, right? How they're capturing these insects. Okay, so right away in my mind, I already know. Oh, this is about how they're actually getting their food, catching the insects. So main idea right there. Okay. So now, boys and girls, again, parents, we'll go back again to this section. This is the activity part. And then we're going to look now for P3 again, and we're still on spiders. So to figure out what the main idea is, we're going to read those 2 statements and then cut it out and glue it. How a spider captures an insect? Or do you think the main idea of that paragraph was a spider has poisonous fangs? They talked about it in the paragraph, but was that the only thing they talked about? Was that the only thing that they gave us? They talked about how spider captures an insect. Okay, so now I'm going to cut that out. How a spider captures the insect. And then I'm going to glue it. Glue. I have my assistant here next to me helping. And glue it right there. And voila, you are done. Okay, take time to read, boys and girls. It's great practice. Okay, don't forget to be accessing all of your other platforms that we have in place. So, and I'll be calling and checking in. All right. Have a great day. Bye.